And you have number C here. Don't look at the answer, yeah? Test yourself. The 2011 UK census found that 51% of people in the UK live in God, an increase of 30% from the 2001 census. What methodological problems arise when sociologists attempt to interpret such data? Be careful, yeah? Be careful with. Here, giving you secondary data, correct? Statistic, how many percent? Okay, so it's secondary. When they ask you methodological problem, it's not about reliability, validity anymore, you know. Those reliability, validity relate to primary data. Yeah, you go collect data, not reliable, you can't repeat. Here, you have to think of problems with statistics. Earlier on, we said there are 4 problems. 1, validity. No? Yeah, 1 validity. Just now we did. 2, sampling. 3, bureaucratic factor. 4, over under reporting. Yeah, we did that. Year 2011. Same thing will continue. Except sampling. Because census doesn't make use of sample. Yeah, census is a study that involves everyone in the population. No sampling. So out of the 4, you write the 3. Take away sampling. This one is simply it tests you the knowledge about statistics and secondary data. See, sometimes they test you like quite often now they test you both like secondary data, sometimes document as now. And after they do documents, they also test you on primary data. They give you a topic, yeah, and say, okay, how do you do it? Okay? So you have to now do both. You don't have to know both. Statistics, you have to know. Documents also, you have to know. You don't have to do much, you know. Just go through these questions, answer, you know. It covers everything already. Yeah? And then you need to know survey, ethnography. See? You have the now. Don't read the answer, yeah? Test yourself, you can do this one, number D. Don't look at my answer. Look at the question. They want you to find out the extent of religious belief in small town for national religion. They what research design, what method? Now think, what design? What method? Let me ask you, survey, ethnography, which one? How many say survey? Put up hands. Survey. Anything for survey? No survey? Ethnography? Put up hands. So, 3 survey, 1 ethnography. So you guys, the rest of you guys not writing, right? This question, not answering. Now you are forced to answer it. You are forced to write down. I ask again. You read the question, yeah? How many said, everybody has to put up their hands. How many said survey? Put up hands. Higher bit. Survey. How many say ethnography? And the rest of you say ethnography? Hey, come on. So, the rest of you say, sorry, I won't do it. If you ask me to do this topic, I won't do it. You know why I asked you or not? See, you read the prompt. You are asked to find out the extent of religious belief and practices in small town for a national newspaper. So find out what? 1, the extent of religious belief and practice. 2, the town is small. 3, for national newspaper. So conflicting. When I read, I said, what method you want? You give the prompt that conflict yourself. Because when I look at small town, I said, okay, I'm going to do ethnography. Serious. But a national newspaper, maybe national newspaper, the ethnography is not good enough. Yeah? Because national newspaper probably want to have something more generalizable, big picture. Yeah? Conflicting. So I don't know which one they want. Another point, which is hard, which I only got it from the commentary, you know. It says, the extent to which means how much, how little, it has to be quantitative. You never know. You never think of it that way. See, every word prompts you to do something. Here it says, the extent of the, religious belief, I would say, I'm going to do ethnography already. Religious belief in small town. That one is really ethnographic research, But then suddenly they say the extent. Yeah, the extent. They say quantitative. I say not true. We can do qualitative too. You say how religious they are. Surely they be quantitative. But the commentary said it has to be quantitative because it has to be able to count. I don't quite get that. Yeah. Anyway, they said national newspaper, that one is quite amazing. Yeah, national newspaper probably wants something more scientific, something broad. So this is a hard question because it's not that. If you don't get it, it's not your fault, it's their fault. The question is not good. Serious. Yeah. Okay, so that's to point out to you and go back and read yourself. All these are all repeat. Okay, please all repeat. Number 6. We have done that together in class as your children's exercise, tutorial exercise. Number 6. Main insight means main understanding. Yeah? So, understanding into what? It's very similar to what managers learn. Understanding into how organization could be created, how it can change, how strategy can be set, and how power is gained. Main insights. Understanding into these issues. Yeah? In the end, you say, these insights are very useful. Yeah? Because now that there are so many types of organizations, having insights from these different perspectives, yeah, could help managers to think out of the box, yeah, or to know how to manage better with these different ways to look at organizations. Okay, that's 6. Now, this last year, 2013. Question became, I think, better because 2012 we all complained that the questions are so bad. Yeah, we complained very badly, and therefore, and they take SIM quite seriously because we are the largest center. Meaning, we give them best most problem. They get the most out of us. So it isn't nice quite a lot. Yeah. Okay. This is prelim. Let's have a look at prelim last year. Okay, let me just point to you some of these things. Explain what is meant by objectivity. Yeah, you know it's about net value neutrality, and I'm going to read that yourself. What is meant? Oh, you know what? Okay. Normally, in society, if they say what is meant by this, actually the best answer is what? There is no fixed meaning. Yeah? However, objectivity is quite fixed. Yeah, but most of the time, is meant by organization is different, yeah? Organization is different. Division of labor different. What is meant by modernity is different. Yeah? What is meant by power is different. People don't agree to what these mean. Anyway, for objectivity, it's quite straightforward. Yeah? And people tend to agree though. Objectivity means not subjectivity. Yeah? It means you get rid. But how to do it? Different approaches, different views. Okay, give reason why complete impartiality is virtually impossible. Okay, go back read it up because we can't totally detach. We study subject, which is human. Selection and decision always get complicated. Okay, this one is straightforward. See, this here is quite easy, you know? No, but this one is a prelim. But prelim, usually and prelim and the same exam is quite very similar in fact. Okay, socialization, this one is also nothing. Oh, you know what? Let me see. That is, there was something okay, later when it comes up. Okay, number C. Don't read my answer, read the question and think. You have been asked to observe behavior and experience of first-year uni students at local universities. What research is signed? First year, behavior, experience, observe, very easy, right? Easy, observe. You want to participate or you don't want to participate? So, passive observation. If you do passive observation, make sure you must write covered or overt. Yeah? Because discussion will follow that. Yeah? Different ways to do it, different problems, different limitations. Limitations are about the same, but problems are different. Yeah, first year, can you do it? Yeah, if you can. You are a student, you know. It's not like family, you cannot do it. But student, you can. You can do covered, very easy. Especially, this is about experience. Experience is something that people may not be able to tell you. Yeah? You have to be there, experience with them. Okay? So the words here, this here very good. This really very good. It formed the right way. Yeah? That's why you don't find that difficult. Like sometimes the word becomes conflicting, that one is very hard. Okay. You know what is meant by social construction of reality? Ask again. Okay. Use crime or suicide as example. Which one? Either one, yeah? Crime or suicide. Show how statistics are said to be socially constructed. Yeah? They ask every year, yeah? Family is construct. And I told you, no, you can write about organization as construct. Now this one say crime or suicide as construct. Surely you won't write crime, I think. You want to write suicide because you have J. Maxwell at Kingston. This is in your notes. This covering suicide under phenomenology. Yeah, and I told you during my lecture, even if you don't want to know phenomenology, you should know Atkinson so that you can use it to criticize suicide. Okay, now number 8, so listen carefully. Number 8, I discussed a lot with other classes. I should have written everything, right? Choose anyone from the list below and show how they have contributed to the development of society. Yeah, there is another one question that I told you, contribute to society. This one said contribute to the development, it's about the same thing. Yeah? This kind of question, you have to start by saying what is sociology. Yeah, so that you can say this guy has contributed to it. Yeah, there are many ways to define sociology. Yeah, one way. First, you can say, you can start by, sociology developed in the 19th century and all that because society was changing, there was chaos all over the place, and people want to know social order, so change, relationship, and power. Yeah? So then you define, write about sociology in terms of social order, so change, relationship, and power. Yeah? They want to know this. Then this guy that you choose contribute to its development. Yeah? By explaining which one or which ones. Yeah? So you said, okay, you want to write about social order, you can just write about social order without having to touch on any items. Yeah? Or you can say, okay, social order and social change, or social order and relationship. That is the highlight of these theories. Yeah? That's one way. Define it in terms of social order, social change. Yeah? And you just take one or two of that and write. Yeah? And test one to okay? Second way you can write is to say, you usually start with the important, but okay, sociology is important because at that time society was changing and all that, but people try to understand it, but people lack knowledge about it because last time it was all philosophy without any scientific base. Yeah, no science. So group of theorists say we have to use a systematic way of understanding it. Then sociology is about theory and research. Yeah? Then you define theory, theory and research. Sociology is about theory and research. And this guy contribute in terms of theory and research. One paragraph theory, one paragraph research. August Comte in the 19th century coined the word sociology from the word socius and logos. Socius, logos mean the word or the study of relationship. Sociology is about the study of relationship. This guy contributes to the understanding of relationship, just focus on relationship. That's also one thing. Another way, that's so many ways. Another way, okay, sociology in the 19th century created and people want to try to understand it, and most people during that time, like Comte, Durkheim, developed structural approach, but later on people believe that the society cannot be seen that way, and they want to add in micro-sociology into it. This guy has contributed the idea of micro-sociology. So then, you start sociology being macro-micro. I say this guy bring micro, and that to introduce Weber, if you choose Weber. Yeah? One way to do it. But Weber, if you introduce sociology in terms of theory and research, Weber is very easy to use too, right? Because Weber has theory and has research. Yeah? Theory and method. Still, another way. There are many ways. Another way. You can say, okay, sociology in the 19th century, a lot of problem, chaos and all that, and people came in and tried to understand it. People like Comte and Spencer create consensus. Later on, people like Marx say consensus is not a feature, and he developed conflict perspective. He contributes to the development by offering conflict perspective. So you introduce sociology in terms of consensus and conflict. Yeah, and then it will come Marx. You can't write other guys, yeah? Yeah? And you cannot conflict first consensus, you know, because Comte Spencer came consensus first. Yeah? And then Marx. Then you write about Marx. Then this paper is about conflict. Yeah? So the theme of the paper will be different if you introduce it differently. Yeah, if you define sociology in terms of theory and method, this paper is about theory and method. If you introduce it in terms of relationship, this theory is about relationship. Right? development of sociology. Yeah? To conclude, sociology continued to develop until today. Yeah? In which sense? Up to you. You write social order, social change, you write it there. Period research, you continue. Or conflict, you continue. Yeah? Or you say micro, you continue. Yeah? And say contemporary sociologists pick up these ideas and further developed it. Yeah? Into maybe theory of globalization, theory of organization, or whatever. Or gender, or whatever it is. Yeah? So, again, end by these guys help to develop sociology. Yeah, so you can see one question, by right should be many types of answer, you know. Yeah? So that's just one answer. Depends on your focus. And now you know who you choose and what you know best about this guy will influence the whole paper from the beginning to the end, starting from the introduction. How you define sociology. Depends on what you write about this guy. What you can write best about him. Yeah? So you want to have that focus on what you can write best. Introduction will follow it. The body, the conclusion, all follow that. So what guide you to write this paper is what you know best. Yeah, and you have to strategize a bit as to how you want to do it. And surely people who can write better have advantage. You know, you can write well. And okay, this one. Let me pause a little bit here. Yeah, actually I wanted to show you something. There were some students who don't quite get how to write a paragraph. There was 1 year. 1 year, one day essay work. They call it writing essay workshop for students. You know, something like Mrs. Gosling do it for you this year. You know, but like that time was conducted by a lecturer from IR. I think it was teaching. Yeah, and he conduct workshop for students. Writing essay. And after that workshop, this student wrote me a paper. And I thought I would like to share with you. This was a few years back. He wrote this paper which I think is very good to use to teach you how to do it. Yeah, I'm not saying this content is good. I'm saying this structure is good. Yeah, this question asks, the question asks, how does the environment affect organization? Yeah, look at his introduction. He writes his introduction and he tells me what it is. He said this is importance. Yeah? He said this is importance, this part importance. Importance of this issue. Yeah? And then definition. Problem with definition. And then main thesis. He called it main thesis. I call it your exam question. Because your exam question is the main thesis, is the theme of this paragraph. Yeah? He wrote thesis. I say this is the question. Yeah? And then after that, you introduce theories or introduce the debate. So, this is general, you know. This one is taught by an IR lecturer. So this is common when you used to write a qualitative paper. for exam. Yeah? If you don't write for exam, you write for other things, you write for published in magazine and all that. Yeah? This is boring. Okay? But in the exam, we want something most direct. And this is most direct. Okay? And that's the 4 points that I gave you, remember? 1, introduce organization. Make it interesting, why it's important. If you use quotes, after that quote, link to something later on. Yeah? So the first one is importance. Yeah. Second, we don't agree on definition. Third, look at third is write the question. Write the question, that is the thesis, main thesis. Yeah? Or sometimes we call it thesis statement. Fourth, because sociology is the debate. Yeah? So you write, you locate the theories that you can help to debate on this. Yeah? You can write about theory or you can write about the aspects that you want to write about, you know, that people debate on. So whatever it is, you tell the reader what you intend to do. Yeah? The length of it is a good length. You shouldn't be writing any more than that. It shouldn't be very long, you know, because you are just introducing. Mrs. Gosling used to say something like elephant. I'm not sure she told you about elephant or not. It's like elephant got small head, yeah, big body, and tiny tail. That is the essay. Okay? You get it? I did this all the time. I did this many times with you, you know, about how to write an introduction. And because to me, introduction is the most important, far more important than anything else in your paper. Then, can you continue reading his body? Starting here. Yeah? He wrote topic sentence. I did it right. Elaboration. Normally it is like that. Topic sentence. Elaboration. Evidence 1. Elaboration. Evidence 2. Okay? For example. You know, it doesn't mean that you always have to have this. You can have just one elaboration and one evidence, or one elaboration and 2 evidence also can. You don't have to further elaborate. Because sometimes when you do further elaboration, sometimes it's too long. Yeah? By example, if you say, okay, is globalization real? Gordon Thompson says not. That is your topic sentence. If the question says, is globalization real? Yeah? Yeah? So you can't be saying, okay, Hirsch and Thompson is a skeptic, and the skeptics don't do that. Is globalization real? Hirsch and Thompson says no. And then elaborate. Okay, why is it not? It's not. Oh, because MNC happened a long time ago, and now we don't even have anything different. We still have MNC, we don't have the TNCs, and MNCs are not globalized. For example, evidence. Toyota still Japanese, GM still US. Okay? Furthermore, elaborate some more. Why? It's not real. Yeah? Because the government is still strong. They still control. They still close the economy sometimes. They still have restrictions sometimes. For example. Yeah? Obama still protects US economy. Singapore government still create all kinds of policies that guide the economy, that doesn't allow trade to flow freely. Okay? Yeah. If you say, this one idea that Hirsch and Thompson say, globalization is not new. Yeah? It's going to be split into 2 paragraphs. One paragraph talk about MNCs. Another paragraph talk about the government. It can be done as well. Yeah? It can be done. So this one can be split into another paragraph. To elaborate one idea, globalization is not, it doesn't happen, not real. Yeah? But after you finish writing the first paragraph, they say MNC is not real, MNC is not TNCs yet, therefore we don't have globalization. Another reason why Mr. Thompson says it doesn't happen has to do with the role of the state. And then another paragraph. The state still play a major role in restricting globalization. This is the paragraph that has one thing, and the thing is it's not real. Because of these two reasons. First reason, elaborate. Second reason, elaborate. And illustrate. Each point that you make has to be given examples. Each point. Yeah? Everything that you do. And the example would be why it's not me. For example, it's not new because the government restricted. For example, housing for government restrict trade and all that, make it not new, and make it not real. House right paragraph? You see, it's not just about it really has to be about how you present it. In such a way that people can understand. Yeah, and that is so hard. And that is very hard to practice also, In fact, it takes a lot of practice. Last time my husband used to be like, chief judge or chief, number one, for the MAS, no, not MAS, for Economic Society of Singapore. Yeah, and he said exactly this. Sometimes, idea very good, but very hard to follow. Doesn't flow very well from the beginning to the end. Yeah, that kind of essay is not good essay, even though very good idea. So you guys have to, keep the structure very well. One way you can do it is to tell yourself what the theme is and write around that theme. Yeah, and make sure that one idea links to the next idea. Furthermore, or sometimes the way you can link it is to bring the word from this sentence into another sentence. That's how you link it. Right? Okay, let me just show you just a little bit more. Okay, of a paper. There. Okay, let me just show you this one. This one has very interesting opening statement, but the introduction looks too long. Yeah, but use very interesting quote. Kofi Annan, a Ghanaian diplomat, I cross it out because being Ghanaian or not important. But being the 7th Secretary General of the United Nations is important because this question is about globalization. One said globalization is a fact of life. But I believe we have underestimated its fragility. Yeah? And this I'm continuing to say, reflecting on his work. You see there's a connection there? It isn't write that quote in isolation. He said, reflecting on his work, we need to accept that this phenomenon affects and change how humans live and connect with others, much in the same way which people had to accept industrial whatever. I just want you to see this part. This quote is very well used for this question, because this question, I can't remember exactly, I think it asks about whether it's new, it can reverse or not, that kind of thing. Yeah? So this quote is very well used. And make sure that when you have the quote, you try to connect it, with the rest of it. Don't just leave it hanging. I don't have that much time. Just show you another one. This girl has very powerful writing, and I thought she would got distinction for sociology, but she didn't manage it. Yeah, this one is very nice writing she has. She has very nice, she can write very well. You know, this lady. Okay, then I'll just show you one last one done by a colleague of yours, but told me not to show the whole paper. So, you won't be reading the whole paper anyway, like we won't have time to do that. I just want you to see one paragraph that shows to the examiner that you have done extra reading. That you have done extra reading and you have bring in oops, okay. Yeah, this is a very nice paragraph, I think. Yeah, very nice paragraph. Yeah, that has shown some reading, and the tone of it sounds nice and analytical. Okay, something like that. Yeah, and you know the next paragraph will be this. Yeah, but you know, this student often forget example. Often to forget to write example. In fact, this one also don't have example. We should add some example. Right. Okay. We don't have that much time. Let me just show you just something that student wrote. Okay. Student last year got the distinction. No? And he wrote this. What his advice is. Why enjoy has to be quoted that, huh, Adam? He said, I hope you're all enjoying. I think there are three things. One, time management. Two, think and adapt. And three, examples. Yeah, look for good examples. Right? You finish reading? For last year we had actually many distinctions here. We have many distinctions last year. So it's not that hard, and hopefully this year, because you must pass, you must pass this year, right? Because next year syllabus change. If you don't pass, oh, I don't know. If you don't pass, SIM is not going to have another PSOE class. You have to self-study for it next year. Yeah? Yep. Okay. Okay, we have like 2-3 minutes now. Let's just go through, see what are the questions that to pay attention to. In 5 minutes, we're done with this. Okay, nothing much. Number 1. Okay, Rich, listen to this one. Look at this one, yeah? This item made of Hoffman explained the process of socialization and identity formation, remember? two things, yeah? Socialization and identity formation. Yeah? Not just socialization. Okay, I got lost this to say. What is meant by division of labor? No agreement. No agreement what is meant by this. Okay, go back and read it. Usually that's what we say. No agreement. Okay, this one you go back and do it up yourself. And then, okay, we're done with this. And this is also the same. We have done this part. Okay, this one here, go back and read because I asked you to go to do it in class, right? And we didn't have time to do it, or students didn't quite get it. Go and see how I define structure and function. Yeah, structure and function. Okay, this one here has to come. Give an example of a problem that has been investigated by a society of your choice. That problem is not social problem, it's sociological problem. Yeah? Because the problem that sociology study is called sociological problem. Social order, social change, relationship. Okay, it say an example of a problem that have been investigated. Yeah? So these are the problems. And they say, can this get okay, what method is used? So you can use ID marker. The problem that investigated, and you know how she did it, go back and read that. Or you can use, who else can use? Or you can use the country side. Okay, this one is easy. That's easy. That's done. See, repeat itself. No, we don't have to do much. It's all done already. See, realistic samples already. Okay. Why sociology is interested? Yeah. Why sociology is interested? So I usually start by saying this. Sociologists has always been interested in how society works and change and power use. True? That is key problem, right? When organization became reality in the 70s, sociologists continued to be interested in how organization work and change and power use. Then this essay will be about how organization work, or you can change emerge also, okay? And change and power within. Yeah? That's why you can ask. Okay, why sociology is like this? Oh, another thing that I have to point out here is this chart. The work is to what extent? To what extent, yeah? Is how much, how little, right? You should think of it this way. You remember, when I start my lecture, I asked you, what is the ideal global economy look like? Yeah? What is the ideal globalization or global culture? So, to what extent is to compare against the ideal type, ideal model? Yeah? Ideal economy. Okay, free flow, no restriction, can buy and sell and all that. Is it near or is it far that ideal? Yeah, that is the question of to what extent. Okay, and then this one is just some extra thing, go back and read up yourself. One last one here that we have in here is this. Study under interpretive model of organization because you only have cow, right? Yeah, and I said maybe I should give you a little bit more. Go back and read Alvin Gunnar. Alvin Gunnar what he did was he studied gypsum factory. You know, gypsum making wallboard. Yeah, the wallboard. Yeah, and this study consists of two parts. One part is the factory making wallboard. Another part is in the mine. And he concludes, in the factory, Weber's model worked. In the mine, something like White model, improvise, sense-making, close relationship, yeah, confidence, work in the mind. Yeah? Okay, so I think this is quite good if you write about those structural Weber approach, you know, and then the interpretive approach, and then come to conclude both works. Yeah, that's a good way to use. Another one that I give you extra that you already know is Goffman. Goffman studied the Backhouse. Yeah, that is also interpretive model, can be interpreted in terms of interpretive model of organization. Okay, so you have everything now. The only thing you have to do is